Combo Nation, once again, it is Grown B and Batman 123 Rock doing a review of a particular season of the Arrowverse. This season being, and I guess technically this season isn't part of the Arrowverse because he quote unquote didn't join the Arrowverse until later. But we're talking about Black Lightning today. And Batman has done a grind of catching up on the first three seasons. I think you're like what 2 episodes away from being caught up,
Hmm.
just in time for the fourth and final season, which I'm excited for, but I'm also kind of sad. But we're about to go ahead and dive into the season that started it all, season one. Batman, while it's a little bit fresh on your mind, what are some of your kind of opening thoughts about season one?
It was good. It was a fresh experience.
Mm-hmm.
Something different. It's not your typical superhero show.
Yeah.
As you said, it focuses more on normal people
Mm-hmm.
stuck in situations that superheroes would be put in. And, you know, the main character, Jefferson Pierce, also Black Lightning, he is a superhero. He has powers, but he's most sorry, he's mostly just Jefferson Pierce.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's a
From
that's a huge theme of that first season, like him feeling like that he could accomplish so much more as Jefferson Pierce, the community leader, the principal of Garfield High. Like he feels like he can accomplish so much more as that person, as somebody who doesn't have to hide behind a costume and a mask, as somebody who can just be a face, somebody that people can connect with. He much more identifies with that, as he does with being Black Lightning, because in this show, this is actually like his second go around as Black Lightning.
yeah,
You know, he was actually in his prime, I think, what is it, 20 years ago? To
I think
timeline, he
so.
was in his prime, and now he's kind of coming back and reinserting himself into that world of being a protector, of a vigilante of sorts, a superhero, right? And he's trying to kind of readjust to that, and so it's definitely, as you were saying, it's just a normal guy who's trying to make a difference, and he's getting thrown into situations where he does unfortunately have to be a hero. So, but yeah, sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Um, let's see. So, as you said, it's been a while since he's been Black Lightning.
Mm-hmm.
He's a respected person in the community of Freeland. Um, he's a teacher, or no, he's not. He's a teacher and a principal, right?
Yeah, he's both a teacher and a principal. Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. And basically Garfield High is like where he makes change, like where he
Mm-hmm.
influences everybody. Um, and sorry, I'm losing my train of thought.
No, you're good. I know
He
it's
has two
tough because everything
daughters.
starts to blend together when you
Yeah.
when you've literally walked down 30 episodes. Everything starts to blend together. So like, I totally get it.
Um, he has two daughters, and um, Anissa and Jen. And one, I believe, she's out of high school. She's older, and then the other is
Yeah.
in high school.
The older sister Anissa, if I'm not mistaken, at that time, I'm pretty sure she was a college professor, or
Oh, that's right. She's a teacher at Garfield, right?
I don't think she's a teacher at Garfield, but she teaches somewhere. Um, honestly, she might be a teacher at Garfield.
Yeah,
Um,
she was a teacher at Garfield. I can't remember if that was season one or two though.
mhm. and
I think it was season one. There was yeah, it was. It was season
and so yeah.
one. Okay, yeah. Um, let's see. So basically, Jen gets caught up with some um, one of the gangs called the 100,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
she gets roped in to it, and they end up Black Lightning ends up showing up there, and what's it called? I'm trying to think. Club 100, right? He shows up
Yeah.
and he
Uh-huh.
beats all the dudes,
Yes, yes,
beats
yes.
all the dudes up, and he saves his daughter.
Yes.
So
Mm-hmm.
they, they come back to school the next day, the 100, and they yank her and Anissa out of class. They steal them, and
I think they take
yeah,
him to like a hotel or something,
Seahorse
right?
Motel. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Seahorse Motel.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jefferson finds out, and then you know suits up and goes. He gets the girls back,
Yeah.
and Gamby, who's like his father figure,
Yep.
um,
Mm-hmm.
basically is urging him to keep being Black Lightning, and he's like, I don't want to do that. We're past that.
Yeah, he's
That part of
talking
my life
about how
is
much he feels
behind
like
me.
the city needs him as Black Lightning, and
Hmm.
that he's just been an important figure that has just kind of been missing from the community. And it's just interesting to see that dynamic between him. I feel like that normally this wouldn't be something that's important to say, but I think in this instance, it is something important to say. Gamby as his like second, his more so father figure, the guy who took him in after his parents died. He's a white guy, right? And
Yeah.
so for him to be in a predominantly black neighborhood, and dealing so closely with a like they call him Uncle Gamby. Like his daughters call
Hmm.
Gamby their uncle, and so it's just another instance of somewhat of a father son and really father daughter relationship that you see that's really strong throughout the Arrowverse. But I think in this show, it is amongst the strongest because Gamby acts as a continues to act as a father figure for Jefferson, but also acts as a father figure for the daughters as well. And so I feel like that's just something really strong that they established really well in the first season. And I think another great thing that they do is they talk and show how Jefferson is connected to all different parts of Freeland. He's not just with the schools. He's also, interacts with the guys down in the hood, some of the thugs, things like that. Everybody knows and has a really big appreciation for Jefferson Pierce. Even the gangs really don't. They have a certain level of respect for him because they understand what he's trying to do in the community, but also at the same time, it's just a bad area. It's a bad, tough area, and
Hmm.
so I think they do just a really good job throughout that season, just balancing everything. And then at the same time, you have kind of let's talk about the main center antagonist slash villain pieces. We have Lala, which is kind of somebody that Jefferson grew up with, who never really it seems like he kind of has a code, kind of wants to do the right thing in a sense, but also at the same time, he is an alpha, right? And
Hmm.
so he's very territorial. He's very firm in his decisions, and he really doesn't like to be challenged um, by really anyone. As much as respect that he has for Jefferson Pierce, I think there was a moment where I think his cousin or something had acted a certain way around Jefferson, and he basically got onto him really bad and made him like
Hmm.
apologize, something like that. And Jefferson didn't quite agree with the execution of that kind of level of discipline. And while Lala had a certain level of respect, he also was firm enough to say, "Man, you don't tell me what to do. I'm my own man, and it's actually best if you respect that, because at the end of the day, I'll come at you too. Like, and so that's one of the antagonists, and then we have the big bad antagonist, who Tobias Whale,
Spies World.
who I don't know. At first, I didn't like his character. He's a lot different from other versions of him that I've seen throughout like animated shows and things like that. One thing I do think that character does a really good job. I mean, this is. Tell me what you think about this Batman. This
He
character.
reminds me of
Go ahead.
oh,
No, go ahead.
he reminds me of the Kingpin in a way.
He does remind me a lot of he reminds me a lot of the Kingpin, but not necessarily the Kingpin version from the Daredevil series. That version of Kingpin
Yeah,
feels a little bit different than the other versions of Kingpin. But for me,
yeah.
I would say that Tobias is the most he might be the most evil character that I've ever seen in the Arrowverse. Like just straight evil. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not misunderstood villain, not a foil character, not a guy that just got hurt somewhere along the way and turned in and went from a good guy into he's not a story of, oh man, this is what you could have been if you didn't have the. He's just an evil guy, dude. He's just an evil guy. He's selfish. He doesn't care about anyone else. He will hurt, kill anyone if they don't have an immediate benefit to him. An immediate benefit to him. If you can't do anything for him today, he literally does not care if you can do something for him tomorrow. Like you can't do anything for him today, done. He kills you. And so, to be honest, he is just. It took a while for him to start to kind of grow on me, and honestly, it didn't even happen in season one. I just hated
Mm.
this guy, right? And so that was just kind of that character, and I feel like they do a good job because there really aren't a lot of characters like that in the Arrowverse. Just flat out evil characters. You don't feel
Well, I
sorry
mean,
for them. You don't like they're just evil. You know. Go ahead.
yeah, he was abused. If you remember, um, him and his sister were abused when they were kids. Like their father was really like hard on them, like
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
too
yeah,
hard.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And he'd always like
But see,
he
normally
always
they at
put him
least
down.
go through they go through great lengths to show you like to make you feel a sense of empathy or sympathy for these type of characters. And I think yeah, they did show you a bit of kind of what he's gone through, but like you know how you it's almost like you could see through the fog of their evil into the tiny bit of goodness that they have, right? They don't put that tiny bit of goodness to see through the fog of evil when it comes to Tobias. Like outside of like a flashback or anything like that, him in current day, he's just a messed up dude.
But
Uh
he does really love like care about his sister, as you see, because you
mhm.
know,
Mhm.
spoiler for season one, obviously, when
Yeah.
she dies, he's like he's heartbroken, he's pissed,
Yeah.
he's angry.
Mhm.
And if he didn't care about her, he'd been like, Ash,
Yeah.
who cares?
Yeah.
Plenty of other people. So
Mhm.
you like he does kind of care,
Yeah.
but there's only certain people he cares about, and once those people are gone,
Mm-hmm.
it's
It's
just there's
basic.
not really anything.
Yeah, it's basically messed up for
Yeah.
him. Then we have the kind of somewhat traditional villain character, where they don't seem so much like a villain, but at the same time they're doing the wrong things, but they're also trying to save face and do some of the right things at the same time, and so you see a little mix, and I think that's kind of the Lady Eve character. And so she doesn't come off as a full, flat out monster, evil person that just needs to be put down immediately. But at the same time, you can still look at her character and say, you're not right, and you know you're not right. and I
Mm,
know we're gonna have to take care of you take care of you at some point. So so yeah, I think that's a good overview, kind of those three characters. Let's
yeah.
see. Let's talk a little bit more about the family. Um,
Um,
Go ahead.
so shortly, a little bit. I think it's like episode two.
Mm-hmm.
What was episode two? Well, episode two is with Lawanda, which actually she does play a big part in other seasons if you think about it. Um, so you know, Seahorse Motel, Black Lightning was there.
Mm-hmm.
They shut it down for a couple days, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, the Seahorse Motel is just back and open again." And you can see that Jefferson, he's pissed. He's like, "What?"
Yeah.
And Lala's still running his business.
Mm-hmm.
And he ends up killing Wanda because she refuses to leave,
Yeah.
and he gives her a chance. He's like, "Just leave. I don't want to kill you. Just get out of here."
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't, so he just kills her.
Yeah.
Um, and he also kills his cousin. I think his cousin. Yeah, yeah, his cousin. He's like, "Man, this is why I don't like bringing family into
Yep.
the mix."
Yeah,
And
he is such a
kills him too.
and he's an interesting villain, man. He's an interesting
Yeah.
villain, interesting evil kind of character. Like he's really I don't know. It's tough to place him, especially as he kind of moves throughout the later seasons. He moves so much on vengeance and power and control, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not on Tobias's level as far as just seeming completely inhumane, but I don't know. It's tough to place him, man, because he's a lot closer to Tobias than he is to like a Prometheus from Arrow or a Slade, or even a Ra's al
Mm-hmm.
Ghul. Like, I mean, he's just. I mean, honestly, these I think the only characters that I could put from other areas of the Arrowverse into the category of like a Tobias and a Lala, it's like Zoom. And not even Zoom from the Flash season 2, not even Zoom on the back end, like Zoom at the beginning, like in the first half of the season, that Zoom. Because obviously spoilers for season 2 of the Flash. If you don't want to be spoiled for anything past the midpoint of season 2 of the Flash, this is your time to I don't know, maybe click off this for a little bit and come back in like 1 minute. But when Zoom starts to kind of get feelings for Caitlyn, you see a whole lot more of his humanity, and
Mm-hmm.
his human counterpart. But in that first half, when he's just straight evil, he's just evil. And so that's the only character that I think I could take from another part of the Arrowverse and kind of compare him to like what Tobias is, what Lala is. And so um
And it's the same thing. He was abused as a kid as well.
yep, mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like just a theme, man. You abuse your kids, they turn into a literal monster. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk a little bit about
Nissa.
okay, yeah, that's fine. Um
So,
yeah, go ahead.
I'm trying to think. I can't remember. She's with her first girlfriend, and then she wakes up feeling kind of, you know, off, I guess, and then she ends up breaking the sink. She's just like amazed. She's like,
Yeah.
"I broke my sink."
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Like, it's probably just a faulty sink. It's
Mm-hmm.
no big deal. And then she finds out that she has powers,
Yeah.
and she goes, I think it's to the junkyard, and then she just starts practicing,
Yes.
just like beating stuff up,
I
picking
think she
things up,
also
and
takes either martial arts classes or self defense classes, so she's actually a pretty good fighter also. Um,
mm-hmm.
so later when she start like when you see her training and using her strength, she's literally just training to learn how to control her strength.
Yeah.
But she's already somewhat of a skilled fighter. But go ahead.
Um, she's just kind of learning. more about her powers throughout the season. And then eventually she becomes Thunder,
Mm-hmm.
who is her
Is
superhero
that in
counterpart,
season
the
one?
Ghost. Yeah, that's
Okay,
season one.
I'm sorry. All the seasons just so. Yeah, definitely. Yes, it's definitely season one. Okay, my bad. Go ahead.
Good. And because she obviously tells her father, and I believe Uncle Gamby makes her
Did she
too.
tell him right away?
No, no, I
Okay.
don't believe so.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. But I think she just does
Um,
take a few episodes.
Man, dude, you're right. It does blend together. I honestly, I kind of can't remember. When does he tell her?
I
Or
don't.
when does she tell him?
I don't know,
Oh,
man. Like when you watch so many seasons in a row, dude, it's like everything just starts to blend together. Um,
yeah.
but
Well, she starts investigating into about her power. She starts that's right. She starts studying about it and she looks into stuff with Alvin Pierce, his father,
hmm
and way back, and she starts investigating and she gets somebody killed from investigating, and her
yes,
mom gets
yes.
ambushed in her place of work.
hmm
Um,
hmm
and that's right. That's right.
That's how.
That's how.
Yeah,
That's how.
yeah.
Um, Thunder shows up, or to help her, and then Black Lightning shows up. He's like, "Who are you?" And then they start fighting, and then bam, he beats her up, and he wins. And then he finds out it's Anissa, and he's like, "Oh my god,
I think it
that's
was
my
a
daughter."
forced tell. It was a forced tell. The
Mm-hmm.
circumstances created just an impossible situation where they had no
Mm-hmm.
choice but to say, "Okay, this is who we are." Um, Man,
Yeah,
dude, we might have to do
and
this
she
one.
didn't know he was Black Lightning either, did she?
No, no,
That's
no,
not
no, no. She,
information.
she didn't know.
Yeah, no.
Um, and so there's so much that I'm starting to just realize how much went on in this season. For this to only
Yeah,
be
a lot.
13 episodes,
Yeah,
because we have all of that, and then we have the green light, like that
and then
drug,
Khalil.
um, and so there was just so many different things going on. Meanwhile, yeah, we have the his second daughter, um,
Mm-hmm.
which
Jennifer.
Jennifer, and I don't think, uh, I don't think she. What's her? I can't remember what her storyline is in the first one. I think she's just
You
dealing
know,
with
she's a
Khalil,
teenager.
and
Yeah.
her dad just doesn't like her dealing with guys, and that's just kind of her story in the first season for the most part. Um,
Um, I mean, she does get her powers in the first season too.
does she?
Yeah.
I thought she didn't get them till the first couple episodes of season two.
No, no, she gets her powers because her friend's trying to put up a thing, and then she falls back, and like her power, she like shocks her
Oh,
phone.
yeah, 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 yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. I can't remember that. I think that's a little bit late in the season. Um,
But I think one thing we do have to hit is, the reason why. So let's talk a little bit about why Jefferson Pierce has powers, right? So there's this
Green Light.
organization, um, that was
ASA.
actually, yeah, the ASA. They were going
Mm-hmm.
in and they were actually experimenting, on kids,
Mm-hmm.
and they were using a drug that um, that was basically messing with like different kids. But a lot of the kids that they were experimenting on and using this drug with were dying, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think at that point the only one who didn't die was Jefferson Pierce, and so that's how he got his powers. And so Gamby, did they reveal that in the first season?
They revealed what that he was a spotter. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So Gamby was basically somebody who would go out, look at different kids, basically tell the ASA to get those kids, and then basically do the experiments on them. And so um, Gamby was feeling really bad for that whole
Mm.
situation because I think with everything, it all lined up, and through a lot of dominoes falling, it led to Jefferson Pierce, his father, right, was gonna out them,
Mm-hmm.
and so he was getting ready to expose them with an article about everything that had been going on in that city of Freeland, because they basically took just that piece of Freeland, and that's where they were doing all the experiments in the country. And that is all of those things basically led to Tobias
Killing.
Whale going and killing Jefferson Pierce's father, right?
Yeah.
And Jefferson Pierce saw him do it.
Watched as he did
Yeah,
it.
he literally watched as a child him do it, and through and just with the messed up government, the messed up uh, law system, Tobias was able to be free. And
Mm-hmm.
basically, Gamby realized that everything that he kind of set into motion has really messed with this kid's life, and that's when he kind of took him under his wing and basically started to raise him. And so, I mean, that's just kind of, I think, for the most part, that is everything that kind of sets up that universe. Are we missing anything really big that kind of sets up the rest of the series?
We are. So Lala finally gets captured by Black Lightning at one point, and
Mm-hmm.
I believe Henderson puts him in jail. And of course, Tobias Whale. There, there are tons of corrupt cops paid off by Tobias
Yes.
that work in the police station. So he just
Mm-hmm.
walks in and just fucking. Sorry, I didn't mean to cuss. I'm sorry.
No, 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 you're fine.
They just kill him, just brutally, just like that. It's done, over with.
Yeah.
And later in the season, just comes back to life.
Yes.
And it's really interesting. I still don't completely understand, even at this point in the series where I am, how those tattoos work. Like, he gets tattoos of the people he killed, and they like kind of talking to him, I guess.
I don't fully, totally actually understand that either. I know there's a comic book that is an actual comic book character, and
Yeah.
that's the way that comic book character works. But I don't think that they fully explain
Mm-mm.
as just a part of the television lore what's actually going on. But since you brought
Yeah.
that up, we do have to talk about um Tobias. He uses some sort of mind control. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
he
He
uses some
he
sort of
says
mind
something.
control or
Hmm.
like
There's a
hypnotism or
phrase that he
whatever.
says.
Yeah,
Hit me. Yeah.
and
He
and,
says
and so he
something and
says,
then it
like, basically, um Lala has his own free will until Tobias says something like the devil deals the cards or something like that.
exactly. That's
And as
exactly word for
soon
word
as
what he
he
says.
says that,
Hmm.
like, Lala's consciousness is still fully intact, but he literally has to do whatever Tobias says at that
Tobias
point.
says. Mhm.
And it's just crazy. There's so much going on in that
Mhm.
season that sets up the rest of the universe. Like Tobias, we have the green light, the drugs, the superpowers, the metahumans, and then we have this mystical, magical element where Tobias is controlling people's mind. Like, people are dying, and he has
Yeah.
some sort of connection to bring people back to life endlessly, but also have some sense of control over their mind. And so that's kind of a scary thing as well.
Yeah. And then we haven't. I don't think we've even Painkiller. I don't
He's
think we've
not in
talked
he's
about
not in
him.
season 1.
Hmm. He is.
He is?
Yeah. He kills Black. Well, not. He does kill Black Lightning, and then he comes back. Yeah. Yeah. He kills Black Lightning in the school. Remember?
Yes. I mean, I know that happened, but
That was season one, man. It is a
How is
lot.
all of this happening in 13 episodes?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Uh,
But okay, but does he? Because in order for him to come back as, oh, you know what? It he um how did he become Painkiller?
um, I can't remember. I think they put him in like a pod and like or something like that, and they gave him enhancements. ASA gave him
But
enhancements.
he went to Tobias willingly.
Well, yeah, remember? Because when he was in the hospital, Tobias is like, Black Lightning did this to you.
Oh,
I
you
want
know
to
what?
help
That's
make
right. That's
things
an
right.
important element. He broke his leg
Yeah.
or something. He was a
No,
track
no, no, no.
star.
He did worse. Like, he was paralyzed.
Okay,
Remember?
yeah. Yeah, I
Because
all that's coming back to me now. Yes.
they're
Mhm.
doing a march, and he goes with Jen, and
He gets shot
um,
protecting her.
they try to shoot the Reverend, uh, and they miss the Reverend. Or no, 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 they don't. Uh, yeah, they do. They miss killing him. The bullet hits the Reverend, but it's a flesh wound.
Mhm.
But it does hit Khalil,
Oh, okay, that's right.
and
Yes. And so he comes to him in the hospital and he's like, "Man, I can help you." And he's like, "Okay." And that's how he becomes Painkiller. And
that
basically, he doesn't know anything about who Black Lightning is or the connection or anything like that. And so he
mhm,
basically just gets sent to oh, that's another big element that we missed. So he sends Painkiller to the school.
mhm.
Painkiller attacks Jefferson, kills Jefferson.
He attacks the students too. He shoots them with darts.
Does he?
Yeah,
Okay. Uh, he kills
yeah.
Jefferson. Jefferson's dead, literally
Mm-hmm.
dead. And then you have Jennifer who comes up and I think she's like hugging him or she's banging on his chest or something. And then
Electric
yeah,
pulse.
her powers
Yeah,
activate, and she
they like
basically is able to like
a
jump his.
defibrillator.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
She kind of acts as a defibrillator, and
mhm.
jump starts his heart.
Yeah,
And I think
and
later on, I think when he comes back to life, he doesn't fully have his powers.
yeah, that's
And
right. No, 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 he doesn't.
I think later on they actually, oh, I just bit my tongue. They actually used Jennifer to
As like a generator.
yes, exactly. And that's how
Hmm.
he kind of gets his powers back.
That's literally the season finale.
And oh, that's the season finale.
Yeah,
Okay, cool. Th-
yeah.
There's that's the one thing, and this is probably another reason why we're having so much difficulty. Um, the Black Lightning, the end of Black Lightning seasons don't they don't feel like season finales. Like
Mm-hmm.
they seem to like. I remember when like after the last episode, I was like, why do I feel like? I mean, at the end of every season, of course, you feel like there's more story to be told.
Oh
But
yeah.
like, whenever Black Lightning ends, whenever one of the seasons end, it literally just feels like I feel like I'm in the in the dead middle of a season, like the just straight up middle of a season.
Hmm.
I think that's another reason why we're having issues. Like, is this season one? Is this season three? Like all that stuff. Um, but so yeah, all of that happens, and the thing with Painkiller is, I mean, that he didn't even know. I think at that point,
He
uh,
doesn't know Tobias is that person. He doesn't know. He just thought he was just a nice guy who was trying to help him.
mm, so let's see, what's
I
something
did want to
else?
mention
Yeah, go ahead.
during the school, there's a really cool fight against Cyanide with what's her name? Thunder versus Cyanide, which is really cool.
Oh, that is
When
actually one of the best.
yeah.
I'll say this. I'll say this right off the bat. Even in season one,
Hmm.
Black Lightning has some of the best fight choreography
Hmm.
of really any superhero combat television type show. I think Arrow's
Yeah,
number one, and then
Arrow's number one.
if anybody has seen it, Daredevil, the Netflix series, season one of Daredevil, the Netflix series is second, And I think Black Lightning is a really, really close. Hold on a second, guys, as Obi gets into the party. Um, hey, what's
What's
up,
going on?
Obi? We're talking about Black Lightning. And so
I'll just stay quiet then.
okay, I don't know if you want to mute. Actually, no, we're already on the back end. We've already talked about all this, the story plot points, but I don't know if you
Yeah.
want to mute us or
I
not.
mean, by the time I get around to watching that, yeah, I'm not gonna remember.
Okay. But let's see. What was I saying, Batman?
I don't know. I think we were going on to something else. You're saying it has good fight choreography.
Oh, that's what it was.
Um,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think it has the. I honestly, I think it's really, really close. It's really
Hmm.
close to fight choreography, in comparison to the to Daredevil, and
Yeah,
so
the hallway scene.
yeah, I mean everything. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just good. They do really good, not just fight choreography, but really the fight scene. You know where they place the fights, the props that they also use in the fights, how they use their environment to go towards the fight, all of that different stuff. I mean, it's one thing just to plan really nice punches, kicks, and throws. It's another
Yeah.
thing to plan punches, kicks, and throws, and how you're going to use your environment, and because I mean that's how people fight. And
Yeah.
so I think all of that culminates together to make really good fight scenes. And I think there is what's the last
They
fight
end up
scene?
killing Lady Eve also. And they frame Black Lightning for it. That's right.
What's the
They
thing?
frame Black
Where's
Lightning.
the? Remember when they're
Is
running
that
through
how
the
season one
woods?
ended?
Um, I don't.
Was that season one ending?
I think that actually
I
is the.
100% watched that.
I definitely think that's the last season. I mean, the last episode
What's the last episode?
Okay.
when they kill off Lady.
No, that's mid-season.
Oh, it's mid season. Okay.
That's mid-season.
That is
Let me stay
mid-season.
silent. I know nothing. Continue.
What? Isn't? Why were they running through the forest? Was that season one?
That's season one. They're trying to get away. Um, because what was it? I think it was the ASA is after them at
Okay,
that
and
point.
so is that the one where they play? And I was really shocked that they played this song. But is that I think during like it's Black Lightning, and I think Jennifer is there too. Not Jennifer. Anissa's
Jennifer's
there
there.
too. Jennifer's there,
Everybody's there.
and they're fighting everybody
Um,
through the woods, and they play
mhm.
that song by Designer. Um,
Yeah, they do play a really cool. That is a really cool fight scene too.
I can't believe they did that, and
Whistle
but I'm so
noise.
glad that they did it
It's
because
Yeah.
not
it.
Panda, is it?
No, it's Timmy Turner,
Okay. Oh.
Oh, Timmy Turner. Yeah,
Oh, I
yeah, I
need to start
remember that.
watching Black
and
Lightning,
it's
boy.
so good. And you would think that and they do a really good job. The mix that they did for it is really good. Like they did a good job
Mhm.
of like cutting out like the really bad references and stuff, but also at the same time you know, I mean that song is really just about that beat, that hitting bass and everything. And I mean I really liked it. I really liked
Mhm.
that last scene with that music and everything. It was very very solid.
And that's not even the last scene. If you don't remember, they send Lala uh, in, and because Tobias wants to get the briefcase. Remember
Mm-hmm.
that? Oh man, what's that guy? He's
Uh
the lead ASA guy.
oh, I hate him so much.
Yeah, he's so
I
annoying.
can't stand him. Oh, I can't.
Yeah.
What's his name? The ball. You talking about the bald headed guy, right? No, he's not bald headed, but
Yeah.
the black guy.
No.
Um,
Martin Proctor. There we go.
that's not his
Martin Proctor.
name.
Odell doesn't show up until the end of uh,
Oh,
season
well,
one. Like
who's
the
Martin
very like
Proctor?
Martin Proctor's the main guy.
Yes,
Remember
yes,
they capture Gamby. He captures Gamby, and
yes.
he tries to get him to give up the thing about Black Lightning, and Black Lightning saves him, and that's how they get the redemption arc where he's like I'm always gonna be here for you, Jefferson. I care about you.
Boy, let me tell you, man, Gamby ain't no joke, dog. Gamby ain't no joke, man. I don't even think that this is in season one, so I can't talk about it. Well, I'll talk about it vaguely, but there's just this moment, man, where Gamby's talking with a villain, and Gamby's like, "Hey, man, I need you to tell me where these people are gonna be," and he's like, "Never." And Gamby says, "Okay." Bam! Shoots him in the head. Done. Like
That's season two. That's season
it
two.
is. Gamby wasn't
That's
playing.
season two.
Gamby wasn't playing, dude.
He's no, he
Gamby
wasn't.
is the most like
He
man
was. But he's
as
also a good person.
yeah. But as heavily like black like as heavily invested in black culture as that show is, Gamby man is one of the like the thuggest dudes on there, man. He don't play, dude, and it makes sense because he's been with the ASA. The ASA is just a bunch of just terrible people, you know. And
Mm.
so, I mean, you got to be like that, I guess. Um, what else are we missing? What else are we missing? I think that's most of it.
Oh, that's right. The Pod Kids. They play a big role in season one.
Do they in season one?
They
I thought they
do.
didn't
Yeah,
really pop off until season two.
that is in season one, believe it or not. What's it called? Because that's why Odell shows up.
Okay, so the pod kids are people who got experimented on, but
Mm-hmm.
they weren't
And
able
Lucky.
to fully bring them to a balance, turn them into a balanced metahuman like Jefferson, right? And so what they did is they put them in a sedated state, and they keep them in these pods until they can
Right.
figure out they until they can figure
How to
out
stabilize
yeah
them.
how to stabilize them and
Yeah.
weaponize them, really. That's the
Yeah,
point. They're
yeah.
trying to
And use
create
them as
they're
weapons.
trying to create an army I mean, this is kind of a spoiler, but if you know anything at all about Black Lightning, you would already know this. They're trying to create an army to basically use against other countries that may uh, try to have and honestly, if you've seen any of Young Justice at all,
Mm-hmm.
then the metahumans, all that different stuff is a lot of what's going on in Black Lightning. Them experimenting on kids, the Markovians are involved as well, and basically it's just them trying to create something that's has the military power and might of a nuclear bomb, but it's something that's actually controlled. You know, so I could say I have the power of a nuclear bomb, but really in these group of 2 or 3 young kids, and I could just send them to your doorstep and won't have to deal with as many casualties and things like that if I don't need to. And so basically, that's what they're trying to build, and that's what these kind of pod kids are really all about. And
Yeah.
I think as of now, the only person that knows that there was a successful metahuman is Gamby. I
Mm-hmm.
think somehow didn't he tell them that Jefferson died or something stupid like that?
Um, I don't think so.
I mean, I know what I'm talking about in that, so just forget I said that part.
Okay. Um,
Um.
so we find out that Kara, she's like the assistant principal to the principal, or
Mm-hmm.
assistant principal.
Yeah.
She's a spotter for the mutants. So they're
Mm.
giving green light to kids, and then
Mm-hmm.
they're picking them up, putting them in pods, and they get like abilities, powers to do things, and
But I
basically
thought that we didn't see any of the pod kids in the first season. I thought all the pod kids were from 10 years ago.
uh no, they pick some of them off and they put them in the pods,
Okay. Okay.
and I believe because like towards the end, the very end of the season finale, um, Martin Proctor's trying to get away. Tobias and Khalil, they break in, they get the briefcase, and then they kind of just uh, him and Cyanide, they just kind of leave, and
Yeah.
the Jefferson family, just the Pierce family, they just kind of like gang up on Martin Proctor, and he's like, I'll give you what you want, you know, and then he's like, you guys aren't gonna kill me, and the Gambit just bam, just kills him.
Gambi is a thug, man. Gambi does not play, dude. Gambi gonna give you
No,
that
he
one
doesn't.
chance. Gambi gonna give you that one chance, man. If you don't take that one chance, man, you out of there. Gambi don't got time to play, man. He too old for that.
Uh-huh. And I think that's kind of where it leaves off. Um, uh, you know, Jefferson family, they're celebrating. They're like, "Yay! You know, we're all safe.
hmm
Everything's great." And then Odell shows up, and everyone's like, who are you?"
Man, Odell, I can't wait to talk about him. But let's leave him for the next episode, dude.
Yeah.
Let's leave
Yeah.
him for the next episode, man.
And the final scene is Tobias opening the briefcase, and you see a look on his face. He's like, "Oh, oh
Mm,
man, I got something good."
I'm excited, man. I'm thinking, man, we
Yeah.
might. I don't know, man. We might. How do you feel about changing the format of this, dude?
What do you mean?
How do you feel about? Because I'm already wanting to talk about Black Lightning season 2, but if we keep up with this
Mhm.
formula, then we got to go to Supergirl season. No, Arrow season 2 next week.
Well, I will be a part of that.
There
Uh,
are no rules. I mean,
well,
we
we
could
did
just
because
do
we were
Black
do.
Lightning.
I know that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But we did have a rule. Our rule was season 1
Yeah,
of everything, then season 2 of everything, then season 3 of everything, season 4.
yeah, I
I'm
got you.
wondering if we want to just start walking down full shows for
Yeah,
a month.
maybe.
We might have to
Yeah,
do that. We might have to do that, and
yeah.
I think, ooh, man, we may have to just start doing a few video, a couple of. We may have to act. We might have to start doing 3 videos a week, bro.
Yeah,
We might have to
I'm down
start doing
for it.
3 videos a week. So,
I'm down for it.
let's do next week. Let's do season. Did we already do season 2 of Arrow?
No, I mean we talked about it in like the supporting characters. We talked about season two a little bit, but we haven't done a full deep dive into season two.
Okay, let's do a full deep dive into season 2. Okay, so next week's videos will be full deep dive into season 2 and
Okay.
Black Lightning season 2.
Okay. Cool. All right.
Um, so that's what we'll do, and we'll record that. Let's actually record that this. Let's record that this week, so Obi can be in it.
Okay.
I'd very
Cool.
much so like to be in that Arrow season 2 one.
So
All
let's
right.
record
Nice.
that. What's tomorrow? Wednesday?
Yeah, tomorrow's Wednesday.
Hell, we might as well record that hell tomorrow.
All right.
All right, guys, we appreciate y'all pulling up. As you can see, links to our social media are in the description. We appreciate y'all checking it out. Leave comments if you like the video, like it. If you think someone else might like it, share it. And if you want to see more, we really hope that you would subscribe. See y'all later on.